Fuck Mystic Mind!
Yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy Ice coming at you from Boom Tactics with a new video. And just real quick, I am here with the boys. Please introduce yourself.
I'm the boy.
And
Hey
I'm
guys, it's
not.
Hustler.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
That-
So we got Hustler and Mash here today, but before we get into the video, I would like to please ask you guys to subscribe, hit the like button, and put on notifications to get alerts whenever we actually decide to upload. So today's video is going to be
Sell
the
out.
video when we decide to upload our mediocre content. Okay, so today's video, if you guys haven't seen by the title, is going to be the top 10 annoying cards that you are most likely going to kind of face in today's kind of meta game. Maybe see. Obviously, this list isn't going to encompass everything. We're probably going to keep making this a series if you guys like it, and honestly, this video is just kind of to maybe rant a little bit about just cards we don't like, and we're kind of just throwing this negativity into the internet for all to hear. But
for all those good vibes.
exactly, So we're gonna start off with. Now, also, this list isn't really in any particular order. We do have some of the worst ones kind of at the end, but there is no kind of higher ranking really. They're all annoying to play against. But we're gonna start off with a newer trap card that came out in Etco, which is Gravedigger's Trap Hole. So, Matt, if you kind of want to explain that.
Alright, like Killer said, Gravedigger's Trap Hole is a new card out, but it's going to be targeting a lot of the things we used to be getting away with, like hand traps. Its effect is when your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or graveyard, or when your opponent's banished monster effect is activated, you negate the effect and inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. This will be able to target your Ash Blossoms, Thunder Dragons, and anything in between.
And the fact that, like, it just hits you for 2,000. Like, this card is going to be one of those cards that if you ever go up against someone using trap tricks, you have to expect, like, kind of a 3 of this in their deck. Especially since Red Reboot kind of got pushed down to, like, 1. This card just seems like it has, like, all the free space to kind of do whatever it wants. And,
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much, it's really going to be like a alternative to Abyss Dweller, I think, because you only get one hit with it, but you're also hitting your opponent for 2,000 damage, and it has a wider effect, so it's definitely something we're gonna have to watch out for.
Yeah, so that's our number 10 spot. Now going to number 9, this card a little bit more. I wouldn't say more. Oh, actually, no. This card is more relevant, but it would be Summon Limit. I definitely played it up against a little more decks using Summon Limit. I think that one's yours, sir.
That's me. So basically, summon limit. All it does is neither player can summon more than 2 times per turn. After the second summon is done, it automatically ends the turn. This card just pretty straightforward. It's just a really hard floodgate. If you're going first, set up your board, places down, and it'll just stop your opponent from basically doing anything if they don't have something to respond to it immediately.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And this card comboed. I know I saw some people play this with their Shaddoll Invoke decks, or Shaddoll in general, where they were doing their full combo ending on Wunda or Construct, or even like whatever their setup was, and just activating evenly, or not even, Summon Limit at the end of the turn. So not only could you, like, not special summon more than once with Wunda on the field, but then you had Summon Limit to worry about after that as well.
Also, if you just really wanted to double down on the floodgate for some strange reason, there's also an alternative card called Summon Breaker. It's a field spell. It does the same thing, but it has an easier caveat that it only stops 3 summons in the main phase 1. So technically, you could do 2 summons, battle phase, then go main phase 2, and then just keep summoning. But it's just another way to reinforce the floodgate, and probably easier one to get access to.
So next up on the list, I would have to say would be this one. I don't think is as annoying, but Mash has his reasoning for other reasons. But it's gonna be Lightning Storm at our number 7 spot is gonna be Lightning Storm. So Mash, if you can take it away.
Killer doesn't see the problem because he is a strictly going second deck type of person, so he doesn't really have to deal with this. But Lightning Storm's effect is if you control no face-up cards, activate one of these effects, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls, or destroy all spells and traps that your opponent controls. You can only use once per turn. This is pretty much a big fuck you to any going first deck. Doesn't matter if you have a full field of back rows, full field of first rows, you're either going to have to stop it with one of your cards you have set up, or if you don't have a card specifically set up to stop this, then your setup is ruined. It's definitely a staple and it'll go in second decks. It's a way to contend and break the control meta that was going on.
I think the reason I just don't think it's as annoying is just I don't think I've been Lightning Stormed enough. Because for the most part, even like in person, not like this is a $120 card. I don't know a lot of people who have a three Lightning Storms in their main deck to begin with. And maybe that's why I don't think it's annoying. But I'm sure if you get Lightning Storm enough, you would think if it's annoying. Let us know if you guys think Lightning Storm is annoying.
It's also a pretty good staple in the Guru control decks that are going on because they constantly flip their cards back face down, so it's not a first turn thing necessarily for them.
Taking our number 6 spot would be Waking Mirror Force. Now Hustler wanted this here. I think it was.
Yeah. Okay. So Quaking Mirror Force, all it does, it's a Mirror Force card, so obviously only works in the battle phase. But the second your opponent's monster declares an attack, you flip all attack position monsters your opponent has to face down defense position, and they can no longer change their battle position. So not only does it help just keeping the cards on the field, because most likely if your opponent's monsters are face down, A, they can't use effects, B, they can't link them or fusion them away, you can't exceed them, you can't synchro them. The only real way to get around them is tribute summoning. And if they had a full field of attack position monsters, they're essentially just locked out of playing the game for a while. Also, you could combo it with other Mirror Forces like Dark Mirror Force, which will just banish all face down, or all defense position monsters. But that's more like a niche thing. But it's an option.
I feel like Quaking Mirror Force is an interesting tech choice because honestly, it's one of those cards that just kind of we're getting a card called 3 Tactical Talents that really punishes you for using hand traps. And I feel like Konami's trying to push the game to a
Away from hand
more
traps.
back row heavy. Yeah, kind of away from more punishing for hand traps. Because 3 Tactical Talents really punishes your opponent for using a hand trap.
By giving
and I feel like
card effects.
Yeah, and Konami's been making very powerful spells and traps again. And I feel like they're trying to get us to go back to using back row more heavily, especially in meta decks, to kind of come up with more powerful stuff like that. And I feel like this is why a card like Quaking Mirror Force, no, I don't think anyone would expect a Mirror Force. Like, I don't think anyone would fully expect you to have it, and that's what would make this card so powerful, especially for the reasons you listed. Like, you just couldn't use anything. And I've been Quaking Mirror Force before, thinking like, oh, it's probably just a generic, back row card, like Called by the Grave or something. I don't need to worry about it. Then I go into my battle phase, and well, there's a Quaking Mirror Force, and all my cards are useless now because I can't stop it.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see why that one's there. But going on to our, I think it's number 5. Hopefully Travis can correct me. Yeah, I'm just assuming. I didn't actually number these guys. Number 5 here. We're gonna have Macrocosmos. So the beginning of this card's effect doesn't really matter, but it's the end part of it where while this card is face up on the field, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Now, if we have anybody here watching this video who plays combo decks, you know that
This is
your
a big L.
graveyard, your graveyard is your second deck. To be honest, your graveyard is just as much
Your
as useful
hand that you
as
just
your
tap
as your
into.
hand. Like is just as much useful. And when everything is getting banished and you can't use it anymore, especially like if you guys play Adamanticators at all, you know what half the things you're setting in the graveyard you're gonna need later. They're not empty. They're floating. They're all floaters essentially. And so the fact that Macrocosmos just banishes everything that goes there, it's completely just I hate it. There's also another card like I think Dimensional Shifter. It does that
Dimensional
as well.
barrier. I think so. Something like
Dimensional
that.
Barrier.
Or shift.
I
No,
think there's a
shift,
hand
yeah.
trap that does it. There's a hand trap that does it as well. That
Um,
that all banished, but it has a
Dimensions.
drawback to your opponent.
Mhm.
To your opponent as well. But yes, that card I do not like. I think it totally ruins my favorite combo decks. I'm a very hardcore combo deck player, and that ruins everything. But heading up here with our I think this one might be number 5. Number 5.
5 2.0 maybe.
We're gonna win. Yeah, maybe. Travis, you're gonna need to help us out here. Write this down. Write this down at this timestamp. Get this at the timestamp. We're gonna need this. We're leaving this in, by the way, guys. You get to see how our video
How organized
making
we are.
goes. Yeah, but next up is evenly matched. So
That's still you.
I think oh yeah, it's still me. Yeah. So evenly matched, guys. I just want you guys to know that this card makes me scared of honestly kind of going first because what evenly matched does is at the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make your opponent banish cards from their field face down so they control the same number of cards as you do. If you control cards, you got this from your hand. So let's say with me, my combo deck, I set up Appaloosa, my my Dragite, and just like one other card, Boral Savage, right? I set that up. You can bait out my Boral Savage, whatever. You bait out my stuff, whatever. You go to your battle phase, end your battle phase, activate evenly matched. You still have no cards on the field, and you banish everything I have face up, and there's nothing I can do about it. There goes my my entire setup. You just banish everything, and it's just like, well, there goes my entire setup. And then, yeah, you get to set up, but you skip your battle phase. That is the drawback of it. But it pretty much means you get to freely set up on your turn with no distractions whatsoever. And it's annoying because it's just, I guess that is the point of the card, but it's just so annoying that you can set up everything, and then your opponent just is like, well, battle phase and evenly matched. There goes your entire combo. Now I get to play. And it's annoying. But yeah, so next up, another super annoying card is Nibiru.
Oh, the rock waifu.
Yeah.
So, the bureau.
Rock waifu, guys.
Yeah. Sorry. Here, let me just pull up the effect real quick here. Because I was totally prepared for this. I knew exactly what I was going to go next.
If you guys don't know what Nibiru does, you guys are...
Yeah. Just in case you
lucky.
haven't read all the Nibiru effects ever. During the main phase, if your opponent normal special summons 5 or more monsters during this turn quick effect, you contribute as many face-up monsters on the field as possible. And if you do, special summon this card from your hand to the field, and 1 rock light level 11 question mark attack and defense token to your opponent's side of the field, which are equal to all the original attack and defense of all the monsters that were taken off the field. So the great part about this, it's a nice little board wipe for your opponent that spend the whole turn setting up, and right when they're about to end their turn, you just say, you have a token now, enjoy that, and you have your turn without any real worries. The great part about it is that you could also use it on your turn if your opponent uses your turn to use it for summonings like generators or what's it called trick stars, Ellic, emancipators could do it too. But yeah, so it's just a good little counter defense, or also just an offensive, just stopping any problem from continuing to be a future problem.
Yeah, and that honestly kind of just sums it up because Nibiru is just like, that was a cool combo, bro. Get him out of my face. So, yeah. Next up, we're going to be having. I think these cards were personally more annoying than Nibiru, and that's why they're here. But it's going to be the Kaiju card slash Winged Dragon of Raw because they essentially do the same thing. Yeah, Raw Sphere mode, my bad. Yeah, they essentially do the same thing, but if you'd like to go ahead and explain those, Mash.
Alright, so I'm just going to discuss a little bit about Kaiju's Raw or Kaiju equivalent. I say Kaiju equivalent because I run Santa Claus, but no one else does, so it's not relevant.
No one is in the spirit of Christmas.
Santa Claus tech card review coming shortly for Mash? Question mark. Leave in the comment below if you want it. Why it's better. Top 10 reasons why Santa Claus is better.
I don't know if I have 10 reasons, but I definitely have one, but that's besides the point. Right now, we're talking about another really great going second card that you basically, if your opponent sets up monsters, you can just say fuck you without an effect that they can negate. They can even negate the summon of these monsters, and it doesn't matter because the cost of them being summoned was their own monsters. Does nothing. These are cards that are really hard to get around. There are specific ways, but you have to actually spec your deck in order to counter these, and it's not usually worth it.
Now, between a normal kaiju or raw, what do you? Because raw requires you sphere mode, by the way. There has to be 3 or more monsters on the field on one side of the field to summon raw. For the kaijus, you only need there to be 1 monster on the other side of the field to tribute, and then you give them the kaiju, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. The reason why I put these, they're both very situational on which one's better. Oftentimes when I have a Sphere of Raw in my hand, because I run Sphere of Raw religiously, is that my opponent will do a long combo and then end with 1 or 2 cards on the field, and then I'm stuck with a dead card in my hand. Whereas a Kaiju could get rid of the most important one and allow me to continue my turn. But at the same time, there are decks like Emancipators where you want to get rid of as many of their cards as fast as possible so you can do whatever you want to do. And Raw's better. So situationally, they're about as good as each other, really.
See, I personally think Raw can be more annoying because I play Emancipators. So exactly. Yeah. So I think between them, Raw is most annoying, especially when you set up like your Appaloosa Dragon or like Appaloosa, your Herald, or like your Boral Savage, and your opponent can just literally raw those 3, and there's really not much you can do about it, and you get rawed, and you're just like, oh.
But in the same sense, you can go against the deck that brings out like Crystal Wing Dragon and ends on Crystal Wing Dragon. Like if they have to pull out the Wind Witch combo, then you're just sitting with a monster that has the negate, can't be destroyed by effects and stuff, and you just want that quick, take 1 monster out, and then continue your turn.
Okay. So now we're getting to... We went to our... So we're in the top 3. I know where we're at now, guys, okay?
That
was number 3.
Okay.
Yes, that was number 3. So number 2, there's no way I was going to let anybody not put this on this list. Because, excuse my language, but this is right, this content's rated for adults. Fuck Mystic Mind. That is our top 2. Fuck Mystic Mind. Fuck Mystic Mind. Fuck Mystic Mind players. And the card in general. I've literally told Hustler here, we've had games where he played Mr. Mario, I just quit. I stopped playing. Because I'm not playing against that fucking bullshit. It's not worth it. I've had it told my buddy Travis to go fuck himself because he played Mystic Mine.
So basically what Killer is saying is Mystic Mine is very demoralizing on the field. Like, it's not impossible to get around, but when you see it, you kind of just...
And for you people who don't know what it does, let me tell you what it does.
I activate mine players. No.
It is a field spell, okay? If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. If you control more monsters than your opponent does, you cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. Once per turn, during the end phase, if both players control the same number of monsters, destroy this card. So, that's the whole caveat to this card, is that if you end up having the same amount of monsters, everyone gets to do their effects again. But what people will do is that, well, if you go second, if your opponent wins second, is Mystic Mine down, now your entire combo setup is absolutely useless. Because if you don't have a spell negate, you can do nothing. And if you, let's say your one spell negate was your Herald of the Arclight, you know, Mystic Mine. Well, now they get to go full combo because they either baited you out or were just fucking with you and didn't have anything to begin with. But either way, it's extremely annoying because it reminds me of just Evenly Matched, where it's like you set up and it was all for nothing. Like, you literally did not get to even try to use your...
What? Did he just cut out?
Yeah, he just cut out.
I wonder how long it's going to take him to notice in the middle of his rant. Give it a second. Travis, put it in something like technical.
There it goes.
There, we're back. We're here the whole time.
That's how much Mystic Mine hates me, and I hate Mystic Mine, that my mic just like cut out because of Mystic Mine, how much I hate it. But yeah, so I don't know where I cut out, but essentially, guys, Mystic Mine just shuts down your entire thing, and it's annoying. If you guys ever see me at an event or anything, and you use Mystic Mine, leave me alone and unsubscribe from our channel.
Oh! No! Don't leave me! Don't leave me!
I don't want you.
Then resubscribe just to taunt him.
Yeah. Travis, this is the point where Travis is gonna put, please don't leave the channel, we need you. He's kidding.
Trump ain't paying like he used to.
I know.
Oh my god.
Trump ain't paying like he used to. Okay. So that was our number 2. Now, before we get into our number 1 pick, and I can't wait to get to our number 1 pick, but we're going to do some dishonorable mentions. Cards that we felt are annoying, but just either, at least in my opinion, aren't as meta-relevant, because a lot of these cards are more meta-relevant cards that you will actually see while playing other people that are assholes, or just using really powerful cards. So, we're going to be going first into an older card that I thought was pretty, annoying in general, and that is going to be Ryo.
Gasp.
Actually, you know what's funny? Actually, the first time I ever went up against Ryo, and I was just telling Hustler,
Oh, this is gonna be the traumatic
Nash
backstory.
about it. Yeah, it is going to be traumatic backstory. Cue music. I was just a young wee lad trying to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And my friend thought it would be great after I bought my 3 synchro structure decks to use this card against me. And it made me extremely sad, because what it does is that it essentially stops you from summoning monsters. I think it is. Because I don't have it up right now, guys.
Top 2 professionalism.
This is what a professional YouTuber looks like. But the benefit is that it should be up on screen right now for you guys if we did this right.
Or Trash just likes to squirm.
Oh yeah, that too, you know. But I'm about to pull it up right now, guys. I swear. Honestly, Travis, this is a great moment to timestamp this, guys, for the when
Oh
Travis gets
yeah.
this. We're just
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, look, he can put something in there. So, neither players can add cards from their deck to their hands except by drawing them. During their player's turn, when your opponent was special summon exactly one monster, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard and negate the special summon, and if you do, destroy it. So, back in the day when I would be using my little synchro deck and you'd be drawing all these cards or getting cards to your hand, this card was like, no, you cannot. And then the greatest part was that when you finally summoned your big old level 8 synchro monster or whatever you were trying to get out, this card was like, ha! No, I don't want you to do that at all. And it is a level 4 monster with 1900 attack. So for the most part, it's kind of hard to beat over an older Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, most of the time, you can just get rid of it, not too hard, but still annoying to deal with. And, so, that, yeah, I hate that card. But,
It's like the
next
main
up would
premise here
be,
is fuck that card.
yeah, next up would be Mash with his, Necro Valley.
Alright, this is an older card. You still see Necro Valley decks make it into rogue status on a few tournaments, just because they're kind of a unique archetype that, if you're not prepared for it, it's hard to deal with. And their main card is Necro Valley, which all Gravekeeper monsters gain 500 attack and defense. Cards in the graveyard cannot be banished. Negate any card effect that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. Negate any card effect that changes types or attributes in the graveyard. So, really and truly, it takes your graveyard out of the equation. If you have a deck that runs on the graveyard, Adamantimators, you're kind of screwed.
A little bit of shade in there.
As you can tell.
Not biased, guys. Not biased at all.
It's just a really good. It's a really good card if you don't have to use your graveyard, or if you're struggling with a deck that's using your graveyard a lot. It just pretty much shuts the entire deck down.
Alright.
All right. So, and then our last dishonorable mention, Hustler, if you want to take it.
Alright, guys. Just stay with me here. Think about it. You have an amazing deck. It just stomps everything and anything, and it only has one weakness. It uses, wait for it, a type. All the cards rely on the type of monster you have. And then that's where
Dun,
Zombie
dun.
World just comes in and says, fuck that. You don't have a deck anymore. Your combos no longer exist, and you're just going to lose because I decided to play. So, yeah, Zombie World, what it basically does is all monsters in the field, and both graveyards as well, are now become zombies. Neither player can tribute summon except for zombies. So, if you had anything like, I don't know, Emancipators, I don't know, Black Wings, anything that just has a type and type specific effects that only can trigger by those types and nothing else, you lose the duel. Essentially, it's the fuck you card to all fuck you cards.
I just want to throw this out here. Just realize this: Necro Valley stops Zombie World.
It does. It also does.
So maybe that one should have been. Well, okay, guys. Well, there you go. Learning how to counter Zombie World.
So the only way to beat this bullshit card is
Welcome.
another bullshit card.
Yep. So that's all the dishonorables. I feel like those all deserve to be there because they can go fuck themselves. But
Yep.
now for our number one pick. The reason I think this card's hilarious at number one is because this card's not even out of the TCG yet, but it's already going to destroy the entire TCG meta, and that is Red Eye's Dragoon.
It's probably not that
Card.
but yeah. Here, I got
I
it.
mean,
Got it.
got it.
Yeah, I got it.
I
So,
honestly was, yeah.
so it's Dragoon of Red Eyes. So basically, its effect is neither player can target or destroy this card with card effects. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. You can use this effect up to the number of times per turn, up to the number of normal monsters you use. Since you use a Dark Magician or Red Eyes, at least ideally, you can do it twice and just burn your opponent from whatever beefy monsters they left on the field. All right, and what else? Once per turn, this card, when a card or effect is activated, you can quick effect discard one card, negate the activation. If you do that, you destroy that card, and this card gains a permanent 1,000. So if you let this card go out of control, it's just going to be a beefy monster that can destroy essentially any card on the field and can just run over anything else. And it's not out, but there's so many ways to cheese this card out. It's not even fucking funny.
Yeah, like I know on YGoPro, which is mainly where you guys play on as of right now, it has to be everywhere, right? Everyone has to
it's kind of just thrown in there because if the first person that gets it on the field, it's basically game over.
It could be a deck completely unrelated to it, and they'll just have one Dark Magician, one Red Eyes, and a way to and a fusion card to bring it out. Like it'll be
Like I have it in
fucking,
Emancipators.
Medolce deck, and they'll still do it. It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
like, and I know a lot of decks are just like Summon Dragoon Pass.
Exactly.
And
Like
the thing is, Dragoon officially, for all of you who don't know, comes out at the end of August in the 2020 Megatins, and he's going to absolutely destroy, I want to say, our peaceful little meta going on, because
is it really peaceful?
every deck's going to. I mean, no, not really, because of Eldlik and Emancipator.
But it's kind of dominated.
But essentially, it's just going to make those decks, or a lot of decks, just kind of like, well, Dragoon Pass. Every deck's going to be almost Dragoon Pass or something similar with Dragoon involved. If you can't, well, I guess if you can't get them out, you already lost. But some of the cards we mentioned are actually going to be good cards to run against Dragoon, which are literally the raw or are mostly the kaijus, because those can get around Dragoon. But other than that, if you don't draw into your kaiju, you pretty much lost against it, because there's not much you can do against him. And that's why he's kind of sitting at our number one, because he's not even out yet, and I'm already terrified of like dealing with him.
This card is so
Ian Hustler, actually, really quick, a funny story. I think I don't know if we actually posted it in that video, but when we did our discussion video about you guys can see it in our channel, but we did a discussion about all the cards that came out in what was that set called? My God,
you can do it.
Secret Slayers, that's what it was. With the Rikas. Rikas actually could get around. It was funny.
Yeah, it's the
Rikas could
workaround.
actually get around Dragoon pretty easily. It was crazy. Hustler had managed to actually summon Dragoon against me, and I used my Rika's abilities to tribute everything, and he had to forcibly tribute his own monster. And it was hilarious to see to see these tier 3 deck get around one of the most annoying cards one of the most powerful cards to ever hit the TCG. It hasn't been hitting yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our number one. I want to thank everyone for watching the video and making it this far. And if you made it this far, we have an actual announcement to make. So, probably popping up on screen somewhere, or it's going to be in the description below. Depends, maybe both. Who knows? We do mediocre content here, guys. Not good content. Okay?
Trust me, it'll be a surprise to both of us here. Where it ends up happening.
Yeah. But we are going to be doing a giveaway of the 2020 Megatins. We're going to be giving away 3 of them, so there's going to be 3 different winners, because we want to show the love to kind of like the people who actually watch our fucking videos for some reason. So essentially, we're going to be doing the giveaway on our Instagram and here on YouTube. So you can enter both ways. I guess the more ways you kind of enter, the more ways we see you and notice you. So you want to get Senpai to notice you. Nibiru-chan
wait.
will notice you. Rock Waifu will notice you if you do these things. But if
Wait, Killer, we
you-
have an Instagram?
we do have an Instagram.
Whoa, since when?
Since probably a few days ago, we have a few. We only have like 2 posts on there, and one of them is our profile pic and me, and I put up a picture of the Rikas because those are my official Yu-Gi-Oh waifu. But if you want to follow our Instagram to enter the giveaway, we'll have that ready probably by the time you guys see this video. But it's Boom Tactics. YGO, and you can follow us on there, and we're going to be having a post on there where you can enter the giveaway, and then to enter it here on YouTube, you have to subscribe and comment down below on this video what you want to get from the 2020 Megatins. What do you even care about the Megatins? Leave a comment what you think about the Megatins, but nonetheless, subscribe, hit the like button, and yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Boys, Hustler, you want to hit it off?
I remember, guys, if you don't make your opponent regret dueling you, no one else will. So get out there and ruin people's lives.
And there you go. And Mash, do you want to give a little doodles?
Yeah, peace.
Okay, guys.
The optimistic one.
Yep, the optimistic one. Well, guys, we'll catch you later, and have a good one. Adios.
Later, guys.
Son of a bitch!